Welcome to AfroWealth Chronicles. Today we will talk about the impact of climate change on Africa's economy. Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt, lessons from India. Sit back and pay attention. Climate change isn't some far-off event. It's happening now and it's reshaping economies, lives and futures. In today's video, we're diving deep into how climate change is impacting Africa's largest economies, Nigeria, South Africa and Egypt. And we're looking at the lessons they can learn from India's fight against the climate crisis. Part 1. Nigeria's drought crisis. In Nigeria, agriculture accounts for about 23% of the GDP, but the increasing frequency of droughts is destroying crops and livelihoods. Farmers who once relied on predictable rainfall are now losing everything.
We used to know when the rains would come. Now we plant, but nothing grows. My family is struggling to survive.
With 70% of Nigerians relying on agriculture for their income, climate change is putting the nation's food security at risk. The devastating effects could push millions into poverty. Part 2. South Africa's energy crisis. In South Africa, the story is different. The country relies heavily on coal, contributing to 90% of its electricity, but this has made it one of the biggest carbon emitters on the continent. As the world pushes toward greener energy, South Africa faces an impossible choice: switch to renewable energy or risk economic collapse.
If we lose these jobs, where will we go? What will happen to our families?
With over 100,000 people employed in coal mining, transitioning to clean energy without a plan could spell disaster for entire communities. Part 3. Egypt's water crisis. Then there's Egypt, where the lifeblood of the nation, the Nile River, is at risk. Rising temperatures and erratic weather patterns are causing the river to dry up in some regions. And that threatens Egypt's agriculture and the millions of people who rely on the Nile.
I've fished these waters my whole life, but now the fish are gone. The water is lower every year.
Climate change is not just a future problem, it's here, and it's crippling Egypt's ability to grow food and sustain its population. But amidst this gloom, there's hope. India, a country that faces its own climate challenges, has made significant progress. From large-scale solar energy projects to adopting sustainable agriculture, India is proving that a developing nation can grow its economy while fighting climate change. India's government has invested heavily in solar energy, aiming to produce 450 gigawatts by 2030. This shift is creating jobs while reducing carbon emissions. In agriculture, India's farmers are using rainwater harvesting and crop diversification to combat droughts and floods. So, what can Nigeria, South Africa and Egypt learn from India? First, investing in renewable energy could create millions of jobs while lowering emissions. Second, improving water management and climate-adaptive agriculture can ensure food security. Finally, government action is key. Without policies to protect vulnerable populations, the economic impact will only worsen. Climate change is the defining challenge of our time, and Africa is on the front lines. Nigeria, South Africa and Egypt can lead the way, but only if they act now. The choices they make today will shape the future of millions. Have a story of climate change to share? How is your community adapting? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the biggest challenges and solutions facing our world. Together, we can make a difference. Share this video with friends, and let's inspire action across the globe. Climate change may be a global problem, but the solutions can start right here. End screen. Subscribe for more insights on global issues.